So with your work, as you're working on a collection, do you have sort of a vision for the collection? Is it more sketched out in a sketchbook or journal? Or is it like you just begin a piece and then tell me more about that. Like, how do you sort of...
You mean as far as like the subject? Like, how do I come up with the subject? Or
and then even the composition for the pieces.
The composition is just really free flow, and I'll sketch that into the canvas with the oil pastels usually, or I'll use a small brush with a real thinned out medium and kind of like sketch in where I want it to go. But the strange thing is that like, because of my process, like that doesn't even matter that much when I sketch it in. I'm not set on that composition. So when I'm working, if I want to add something or subtract something, there's no problem with that with the oil paint, and it's just whatever I feel like, if it feels balanced to me, if it feels natural, because I am painting, just kind of like those natural vistas, the things that I've seen. And to that, what I paint, like if I go into the studio and I do a series, like right now, I'm going to be working in anemones because that's what's blooming in my front yard. And that's what I see all the time. Like when I'm sitting and having my coffee in the morning and I'm looking out the window and I'm staring at the anemones and I'm looking at the petals and, the little, the middle of the bud and how they're opening up and like all that. And like, I'm a little like obsessed with it, I guess. I'm obsessed with flowers and like staring at those kind of things. And I know like, too, as an artist, like you look at things differently. And, I'll be looking at it and think, oh, look at that purple on that leaf, or, you know what I mean? And you're just obsessed. And so those are the things that I'm going to go back later that night and I'm going to try to work that into a canvas. I'm going to let that back out, the things I've been staring at and obsessing over all day. So
I love that. I love how you're like putting words to what it's like to have artist eyes when you look at something, and you're looking at even like the negative shape that is created with that.
Right.
There's like, look at that purplish shadow with that. I'm looking at my window right now with that light green, right beside it, and those like how they're complementing one another. And then yes, absolutely. And then I love your intuitive process as you're going, that you let the painting evolve with those layers. That's so cool. And also I'm loving hearing about like what you see in the, like you mentioned, like in the ditches.
Yeah.
I realized when we were preparing for this episode that we're going to have to get together in real life sometime. We live only about like an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah, I saw that. That's kind of crazy.
That's so cool. Yeah.
So what's happening now.
See. Yes,
like in Earl, I paint a lot of weeds. I paint a lot of dandelions. I've gotten in many a near accident, looking in the median, because that's where they're growing, and it's a concrete world, and there's the blacktop, and then there's the cement curb, and then right there in the middle is this beautiful, delicate dandelion coming out and surviving and thriving, and just that's what attracts me, and so that's what I like to paint.